Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K channel. And today we're going to be checking out a live performance by a band called Soilwork with guest vocals from Jansen. This is a Soilwork track called Let the River Flow. We'll be doing it as a breakdown, so we'll be stopping throughout the track to give our thoughts and feelings and breaking it down over 30 seconds and the halfway point and obviously near the end. So without further ado, let's get started. Sorry, I really forgot to do the 30-second stop. I was vibing, sorry. I just sort of got to it. I was like, yeah, I'm vibing. Oh, shit, 30 seconds. Right, so we're doing the kind of halfway breakdown then. Sorry. Andy, first thoughts then.
Know the name, never heard them. The name is terrible for a band. So that's what, it doesn't draw me to check them out. I've heard of them. Didn't like the intro, really like the opening riff, like the guy's vocals. Particularly, was it the bass player coming in with some really deep vocals at the beginning of the chorus? I think it was.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah, really like what the line that he delivered. Love Floor Jansen, but you couldn't hear her until she sung the line "River Will Flow," where she kind of like belted it out and was away from the main vocalist singing. But I hope she has more of a standalone part in this song. Otherwise, she's a bit redundant.
Yeah, I think she was in the area. I don't think she specifically came out for that. I think she was in the area and just came out to help out on a song because she was like backstage and did that. So I think that's why she's done it. But the thing is she's singing. Apart from that point where she switched to do a harmony on that line with the "Let the River Flow." He sang the low and she went high. She's singing exactly the same the vocal line in the same key as what he's doing, which means unfortunately they're kind of getting very much. You have to really listen to hear the separation. Otherwise, they're pretty much singing the same thing. I don't personally think their voices suit each other. They sound like they, sometimes you'll hear like these vocal collaborations where someone will come out and sing and you go, wow, they sound really good together. To me, I'm listening to this going, they're fine, but they're not really enhancing each other's performance. Both great singers, but not really doing anything combined together. That's my kind of first vibe on this one. But Kirk.
I don't normally like melodic death metal. This is one of the few bands I make an exception for. Sweden's Soilwork. Yeah, the name, like you, Andy, it was a name I was aware of and hadn't really paid any attention until last year when I reviewed their album Förgivenheten, which is not easy to pronounce. But does anyone else note that Bjorn Street, the singer, looks like David Draymond from Disturbed. If you had this on mute, you would think this was Disturbed playing, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, he's probably had that conversation or had people say that about him a few times. But
Yeah.
I suppose the more you get used to watching him sing, or you've seen him before, it's not so. Because I saw this before I heard of Disturbed. I knew of these guys, as they've been around longer than Disturbed. So it's
Yeah, they have.
It's interesting how their career has transitioned. But I saw these guys at the Underworld.
What year would that have been then? Would that have been late 90s?
No, that was 2010, 2011.
Okay.
So they was it might have been Stabbing the Drama tour, I think, maybe. But let's keep going. Come on, play. Yeah, we can stop at that point. We don't need to watch the outro. Okay, let's throw this to Andy for overall thoughts on Let This River Flow Soil with Floor Jansen.
I don't know if this is a typical track from theirs, but there's very, very few instrumental passages. It's vocal led all the way through, isn't it? Which is a shame, because towards the end, between the lines, when he stopped singing, the music was pretty good. I liked it. You could actually hear the riff. You could actually hear what the band were playing, and that was whether that was sort of just drowned out in the sort of live mix or the live performance, I'm not sure. And they should have used Floor Jansen more. They should have given us some solo lines. If you're going to bring her on stage, even if she's just in town and fancied helping them out on a song, do a bit of work beforehand and say, you do this bit, because I Will Rise, you could hear her then and a little bit earlier on, but otherwise it was a wasted opportunity, I think. And Kirk, I can't get the vision of the guy from Disturbed out of my head. I can't unsee that now. I'd love the bass player to have, to be vocalist in his own death metal band because he was awesome, and I didn't like the main vocalist clean vocals either. But yeah, I don't think I'll be sort of rushing into listening to any more Soilwork if I'm perfectly honest.
Okay.
But concentrating on Floor Jansen over the last year or so that we've been covering these videos and focusing on Nightwish, she is elevated to my favourite Nightwish vocalist. I think she's incredible. Put that out there as well to finish off from me.
So listening to this, I think with the opportunity, the time where they could have given her was that point where it broke down. There was like that middle section breakdown where it all went kind of more quieter, and he'd said this clean passage. She could have taken the whole of that. If she'd just done the whole of that clean passage, she obviously did some words with him, but she could have just sung the whole of that, and he could have just stepped back, let her take the lead on it. Would have been perfect. She obviously knew the song, and I think that was the wasted opportunity. Yeah. I think the other part is just before it kind of kicks into the "Let the River Flow" chorus line. There's almost like a 2-part chorus, but the bit before that is there's a lot of lead guitar melody. It's not like a standard chord, which means this lead guitar is playing in the same registry as where the vocals are. That means you've got no low-end chorded guitar. It's just the bass that's holding the chord. It's like down, down, that whole no regrets, no compromise. That vocal line, there's a guitar lead that's basically noodling around. And I think that problem is that it's in the same frequencies as the vocals, and that's why you don't get clarity on the vocals. But then when it goes in the they all drop down, leaving the vocals loads of headroom. And that's why suddenly the vocals come through nice and clear. Because I was sitting there listening to going, it just doesn't feel heavy. I know this song very well. It sounds heavier on record. It sounded like, apart from that main riff there, it doesn't kind of come across as well live. There's just too much going on with the guitars. It almost needed something holding and rooting that guitar line down so the vocals had a bit more space. But yeah, I agree. There was an element there where, although I put the headphones on so I could clearly hear Floor's vocals, but she's basically, him and her are singing the same vocal line with no harmonization really. She's not singing the octave higher, or there's not a particular thing. They're just singing exactly the same key, which is why you're not getting that separation level. But overall, I like the song. I like his clean vocals, although there are some of the new songs where he goes a little bit too high. He goes into sort of some like soprano ranges, and I'm like, what are you doing, mate? You just bring it back down to your guttural stuff. Would be a little bit better for Soilwork. So hit and miss. I prefer the earlier stuff where he was a little bit more aggressive, less clean on the earlier albums. But Kirk, your thoughts?
You've described, my main criticism of this genre of music, Dave. That cliche of just using harmonized guitar passages. They almost sound like lead guitars, don't they? They're just playing motifs almost, aren't they? Just like Iron Maiden type harmonizing, and then it completely cuts out the low end. That isn't melodic death metal, is it? Other than the growled vocals, as Andy pointed out, there's nothing death metal about that. I would call this modern heavy metal. Look at the way the crowd responded to it, chanting along. These are rock songs with choruses. So even their early stuff, to me, this is what's unique about this band. They're almost like the Scorpions of death metal. They're clearly influenced by Scorpions, aren't they, when you listen to the choruses?
And there's elements of industrial as well in their sound.
I like that.
But do you know, like that song, Here I Am, Rocking Like a Hurricane? That's clearly an influence on this band. The vocals, I've not mentioned Floor in my analysis. There were some genuine moments there where I thought they did interlock quite well. I don't mind that, Dave, where there's no separation. To me, I was looking for that harmony where you could barely tell who's who. Other people will not like that because the distinctive identities become subsumed into one voice, don't they? So I understand your criticism on that. I agree with Andy. Vocal-led song. Other than that one drop where they do go for the low end, I couldn't tell you anything about the guitars in there. You've got the aggression of metal. You've got the up-tempo drums. The guitars are rocking out, but somehow they're innocuous in the mix. So I do struggle with this genre of music, but I do appreciate that it sounds fucking awesome at a festival or at a stadium if you're there in the crowd.
Well, there we go. That was Soilwork with Floor Jansen doing Let the River Flow. Now, if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.